Okay, this one was a swing and a miss for me. I've never had much trouble with the concept of remakes. Cinema is full of them, but given that Akira Kurosawa's High and Low has been lodged into my brain since I watched it about 6 months ago, it's fair to say I had very, very high hopes for Spike Lee's remake. Let's start with the changes. For starters, the introduction to the kidnapping comes with the same dramatic weight as a wet fart. Just an inaudible phone call that Denzel gets on the balcony. In general, there was so little done with the phone calls between David, Denzel's character, and the kidnapper. In the original version, the poster is Gondo, Toshiro Mifune, on the phone with the kidnapper. The entire first half of the film is full of negotiations and hearing the kidnapper make demands. In this one, most of that is done off camera. And then there's the police procedural, which in Kurosawa's film is half the thrill, the slow, methodical unraveling of the case. Here, the police are sidelined entirely. In Kurosawa's film, the police work is a whole movie within the movie. It's painstaking, it's procedural, it's drawn out to the point that you feel every ounce of their frustration. Now, imagine that transposed onto New York City streets. I certainly can. 8 million stories, endless dark avenues, a metropolis already bursting with income disparity, addiction, and the very themes that this remake is allegedly about. The opportunity was right there. And then there's Spike Lee's stylistic flourishes, which here feel more distracting than invigorating. The score is gorgeous in isolation, but deployed like a sledgehammer, telegraphing every emotional beat until I was watching the horns and the violins instead of the actors on screen. That said, some things do land. The money drop off scene crackles, the New York setting feels lived in, and the Denzel ASAP Rocky confrontations are pretty electric. Let's be honest, most of my disappointment comes from comparison, which isn't always fair, but it is unavoidable. Reviewing a remake is always tricky because there's this balancing act between letting it stand on its own and acknowledging the shadow it's inevitably working under. It's almost a lose lose situation. Lean too close to the original and you get accused of being derivative. Stray too far and you risk losing the very spark that made the story worth revisiting in the first place. And look, plenty of remakes have worked. Some have even surpassed their source material. So it's not like it can't be done. I'm not asking for a shot for shot recreation. I wouldn't want that. But at its core, it feels like Spike Lee and I looked at Kurosawa's High and Low and came away with two polar opposite ideas of what a 2025 version should look like. And that's not inherently a bad thing. In fact, it's encouraging that there's diversity of vision and space for interpretation, that artists can wrestle with the same material and come to such different conclusions. And look, Spike Lee is a legend, and nothing here changes that. But part of respecting an artist is being honest. And for me, this one just didn't work.